Whether to turn off a baby's life support after an alleged assault by his own father.
It is one of the most difficult decisions that I have to make.
High Court ruling. West Australians almost certainly heading back to the polls after a Senate vote bungle. Channel 7 raided. Federal police investigate the Chappelle Corby deal. And silver surprise. Australian aerial ace David Morris snatches a medal in Sochi.
This is 10 Eyewitness News with Norelda Jacobs.
Good evening and welcome. First, government authorities will decide if and when to turn off a month-old baby's life support system after a serious assault in Bunbury. The boy's teenage father stands accused, and today his tragic background was revealed. Claire Grantham reports.
A fight for life at Princess Margaret Hospital. The 28-day-old baby has severe head injuries. The little boy's life support system now in the hands of the Director General of Child Protection.
It is one of the most difficult decisions that I have to make.
The High Court has ruled 2 of WA senators weren't duly elected after 1,400 ballot papers went missing during a bungled recount last year. It means West Australians are almost certainly heading back to the polls. Tamara Akers has more. 2 men have faced court over the murder of a 24-year-old man in Kalgoorlie at the weekend. Floral tributes were today laid at the house where South Kalgoorlie man Bo Davies was found dead. Stephen Gregory Gandy and Stephen Roberts weren't required to plead during their brief appearance in Kalgoorlie Magistrates Court. Major crime detectives are investigating whether anyone else will be charged. The bolder men will face court in Perth next month. Federal police have raided Channel 7's offices and newsroom over the network's decision to interview drug smuggler Chappelle Corby. They've seized contracts and other documents, which may breach laws that ban criminals from profiting from their crimes. Here's Christian de Garis. Tim Gossies joins us now with a preview to sport. And Goss, the Eagles and Dockers in action.
Yes, they are, finally. They're playing in the NAB Challenge Norelda up there at Arena Joondalup, and we'll have the early highlights later in sport. And thousands have flocked to the arena to get a look at last year's grand finalists and the new look Adam Simpson Eagles. And after many rough years, the West Coast Fever are hoping for a season of smooth sailing. If you're a Dockers fan, you might not want to look at the footy highlights. The Eagles are in complete control.
Thanks, Goss. I'll see you shortly. This is 10 Eyewitness News, still to come. Asylum riot. 1 man dead after a second night of unrest on Manus Island. Assault trial. An Albany court hears of footballer Marley Williams' distress after punching a man. And a fallen hero's parents presented with his Bravery Award. An asylum seeker has been killed and dozens injured in bloody clashes at Australia's detention centre on Manus Island. As Ursula Hager reports, the Immigration Minister has admitted the government was anticipating worsening violence at the centre. Time for a bit of weather now with Michael Schultz. And Schultzy, February's tracking hot.
Yes, a bit like January. January was very hot. You remember we had 10 days of 35 degrees or more in January. Well, this month we've only had 2 days of 35 degrees or more, which is well below the average of 7. But the month itself is tracking about 1 degree above the long-term average. So far this month we've had an average of 32.4 degrees. And today we had a top of 35.3. The second, as I mentioned, over 35 degrees at 3:02. That was recorded. The overnight minimum was 18.4. It's just under 35 at the moment. The easterly still blowing at 9 kilometres an hour. And around the metropolitan area today it reached 37 to the north at Lancelin, 36 reported from Bullsbrook, even hot in Mandurah with a top of 35. The forecast coming and it's hot.
Thanks, Michael. See you then. Ahead in 10 Eyewitness News. Guilty verdict. Former federal MP Craig Thompson convicted of using union credit cards to pay for sex. And we reveal why a pilot hijacked his own plane.
Well, to spot everyone, another chance at Winter Olympic gold has gone begging, with Chumpy Pullen bowing out of the snowboard cross. The red-hot favourite ending his campaign the same way he did 4 years ago in Vancouver. Tim Hipsley